Oh, no way! What do we got here? What do we freaking got here? Well, got up this morning and figured, well, I think I'm gonna go to pick and pull and kill a few hours and see if I can find something for the truck. And it just so happens I found a Bronco, probably like a 94. I would imagine it was a 94 because it had the had a 5.8 in it, fuel injected. And they had it all tore apart. It looked like it had like some Tough Country 6-inch lift on it because it had long ass coil springs. And someone took the front suspension apart and, to my advantage, left the sway bar and the I'm gonna call it a cup. This is where your spring sits on top of this, and then this is also where your sway bar is mounted to. So luckily those are there and the springs were already unbolted, so it saved me hours of work on top of what I'm going to be spending getting this thing apart too. So it's not a bad sway bar. It's a 1-inch diameter. I don't know if it's an upgrade or a stock. Kind of looks like a stock one, but it doesn't have a whole lot of wear. I mean, I'm used to seeing some pretty heavy wear on the factory ones, especially when they got a lot of miles on it, and this Bronco had a lot of miles. And I matched this up to the frame on this guy here, and the part where this little air dam goes, well, the brackets, which I got two, these are Ford brackets. The 3 holes here will go where that air dam is mounted on both sides, and the length is just right, so this is going to work out perfectly. So we're going to have a Bronco sway bar for a much top heavier vehicle, and then we're going to have it in a XL truck with no camper shell in the back. So we'll finally have a front and rear sway bar, and I've been meaning to measure the rear sway bar on this one, but I think it's a 1-inch on this. It's close enough. Oh, just the perfect length or width. I didn't really need it to work like that. The reason why we do this is because we don't want the paint to rub off and make the grease all ooey gooey and nasty and not work right. Looking good. It's not gonna be perfect, but you know, it was you know, and you compare the price to how much you pay for them new, this is pretty much just free. I'm not too worried about it, just as long as the rusted areas get, or bare areas get painted. I'm gonna do finishing touches on the truck. Alright, there's the first round of painting up those brackets. I'm gonna be buying new bolts, I think, for everything. Bar is painted up. I think it's dry now. I'm just gonna let it sit, hang there. Now I need to paint the cups, or the spring perches / sway bar mounts. These will replace the ones that are on there now. They're just round, same thing, just without the mount. So our XL will have sway bars. Alright, check this out. We got our new bushings on there. It's a 1-inch bushing. It fits real nice and snug. Got no paint where that surface is. he's fit on there pretty good. I'm quite pleased. Now I think I'm going to jack my truck up a little bit, get under there and remove that air dam and locate this. But I just test fitted the bushings, tighten them down, and make sure it fits in there snug, and it clamps them down real good. Kind of pointless to paint those, but oh well. And I like that little Husky. It whips those on there pretty nice. So what I'll end up doing is undoing the air dam, and then we will undo the bracketry and see how that mounts up in there. I did feel there's a hole in the center, and I think it might already have the holes for the sway bar, so we might be able to just bolt this on and basically just be a matter of tearing apart the front suspension, getting the coil springs off, and putting our new cup back on. Or on, I should say. And missed a couple of spots, but it's not perfect. I don't really care. It's not a show truck. Just as long as I have a sway bar on there. I just kind of painted it to prevent the rust. Maybe I'll hit this spot. I don't know. Just looks kind of cool. Gives me a peace of mind. Okay. Gotta move this over so the garage doors clamp on it. I got the air dam off, and we have our sway bar kind of mocked up. And now it's a matter of, really, I just gotta, when I get some time, probably next week, we're gonna lift the truck up, and we're going to remove the wheels and undo the suspension and drop it down so we can get undo the springs. And we'll need to get a inch and 1/8 wrench to get up the nut there. And then once we do that, we can get the spring off and put our cups on, or our spring mounts. And then once we get that on, we're going to drill some new holes and then get this bracket secured on both sides. That way that's locked down to the frame. I gotta get some new hardware. I'll get some nylock nuts and some heavy duty grade 8 bolts. And then that'll be taken care of, and then once we get the cups on, then we'll be ready to attach those. And then I also think I'm gonna try and get a bushing rebuild kit for this. Maybe not now, but at a later time, so we can get some fresh bushings. These are still pretty stiff actually, so I think that'll hold up for the most part, but I do want to change those out. But yep, we'll catch you next week when we do the epic suspension teardown.